Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to beautiful Reykjavik, capital of Iceland. It is now time for the voting results of the 26th Sing Out Song Contest. We have 35 countries that are going to be revealing their points. 38 countries took part in the contest, but 35 of them have voted in the final. And I will show you, to begin with, the order in which our 35 countries will reveal their votes. You can see Israel will start the things off. Romania will close out the voting. So let's get started. You know how things work. Let's load the scoreboard. Now, as you can see here on the scoreboard, 25 finalists are listed. However, 2 countries that are competing in the final did not vote, and therefore those 2 countries are not going to be taking part in the voting. So those 2 countries are Portugal and Croatia. So we'll just remove them from the scoreboard since they won't be receiving any points, which is too bad because they both actually did quite well. However, the final will have these 23 countries. They're all very anxiously awaiting the results to see which of these 23 will win Sing Out Song Contest 26. So let's get started without any further ado and begin with the votes from Israel. And now the top voting results from Israel. France, 8 points. Ukraine, 10 points. And Norway, 12 points. Off to a great start with Norway taking the lead at the beginning. Next country to vote is Serbia. Now the top votes from Serbia. Norway, 8 points. Ireland, 10 points. And finally, Iceland, 12 points. Thank you very much, Serbia. Next country to vote is France. And now the top votes from France. The Republic of Korea, 8 points. The United States, 10 points. And finally, Iceland, 12 points. Thank you very much for your votes, France. The next country to vote is Finland. And now the top voting results from Finland. Ireland, 8 points. Norway, 10 points. And finally, the Republic of Korea, 12 points. Thank you very much for your votes, Finland. Next country to vote is Ireland. And now the top voting results from Ireland. Norway, 8 points. Serbia, 10 points. And finally, Iceland, 12 points. Thank you very much for your votes, Ireland. Next country to vote is Belgium. And now the top votes from Belgium. Serbia, 8 points. The United States, 10 points. And Greece, 12 points. Thank you very much for your votes, Belgium. The next country to vote is Barbados. And now the top votes from Barbados. Greece, 8 points. Australia, 10 points. And finally, the United Kingdom, 12 points. Thank you very much for your votes, Barbados. Next country to vote is Canada. And now the top voting results from Canada. Australia, 8 points. The Netherlands, 10 points. And finally, the United Kingdom, 12 points. Thank you very much for your votes, Canada. The next country to vote is Australia. And now the top votes from Australia. Ireland, 8 points. Ukraine, 10 points. And finally, Italy, 12 points. Thank you very much for your votes, Australia. Next country to vote is Switzerland. And now the top voting results from Switzerland. Iceland, 8 points. Sweden, 10 points. And Ukraine, 12 points. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we have seen the votes from the first 10 countries of the night. We have 25 sets of votes yet to hear from, and at the moment, the host country, Iceland, is leading on first place, 64 points. Close behind in second place is Norway on 52 points. The Netherlands doing well in third place on 42 points. The United Kingdom are in fourth place on 41 points. And holding fifth place at the moment on 39 points is the United States. But, as I said, we still have 25 sets of votes to hear from. Anything can still yet happen. So let's continue with the voting and go on now to Bosnia and Herzegovina. And now the top voting results from Bosnia and Herzegovina. Switzerland, 8 points. The United Kingdom, 10 points. And finally, Serbia, 12 points. Thank you very much, Bosnia and Herzegovina. Next country to vote is Ukraine. And now the top voting results from Ukraine. Denmark, 8 points. France, 10 points. And finally, Sweden, 12 points. Thank you very much for your votes, Ukraine. Next country to vote is the Philippines. And now the top votes from the Philippines. Hungary, 8 points. Denmark, 10 points. And finally, the Netherlands, 12 points. Thank you very much for your votes. The Philippines' next country to vote is Spain. And now the top voting results from Spain. Switzerland, 8 points. Greece, 10 points. And finally, Serbia, 12 points. Thank you very much for your votes, Spain. Next country to vote is Greece. And now the top voting results from Greece. Switzerland, 8 points. Canada, 10 points. And finally, Estonia, 12 points. Thank you very much for your votes, Greece. Next country to vote is Austria. And now the top voting results from Austria. Ireland, 8 points. The United States, 10 points. And finally, France, 12 points. Thank you very much for your votes, Austria. The next country to vote is Brazil. And now the top points from Brazil. Sweden, 8 points. France, 10 points. And finally, the Philippines, 12 points. Thank you very much for your votes, Brazil. Next country to vote is Denmark. And now the top voting results from Denmark. Canada, 8 points. Greece, 10 points. And finally, Sweden, 12 points. Thank you very much for your votes, Denmark. Next country to vote is Japan. And now the top votes from Japan. The Philippines, 8 points. The Republic of Korea, 10 points. And finally, Iceland, 12 points. Thank you very much for your votes, Japan. The next country to vote is the United States. And now the top votes from the United States. Norway, 8 points. Estonia, 10 points. And the Philippines, 12 points. Thank you very much for your votes, United States. Well, now you can see that we have received the votes from 20 of our 35 voting countries. You can see the ones that have already voted and the 15 countries that we have yet to hear results from. And at this stage in the result, Norway is leading on 85 points, but only under the countback rules because they are in fact tied for first place on 85 points with the host country, Iceland. The Icelanders not wanting to give up the hosting rights of the contest so soon. Not too far behind in third place is the Netherlands on 77 points. The United States are holding fourth place on 68 points. And moving into the top 5 at the moment on fifth place, we have Sweden on 64 points. But with 15 whole sets of votes left to receive and tally on our giant scoreboard here, anything can still happen. If you think you've got it figured out and you think you know who's going to win, I'd save your judgment and wait for part 2, which you're welcome to join, and I hope you do. Thanks.